Hello and welcome to Cognitions, Speaking the Unspeakable with JP
and Stacy D.
I'm JP Craddock and I am here with the one and only Stacy D Love. We are broadcasting here on KUAW Radio, which stands for Knowledge, Understanding,
And wisdom.
and Wisdom. All right, coming up on the show today, our question of the day is, my sibling, this is so common, this is common. My sibling has been living off of my parents his entire life. Now that they're elderly, it's beginning to take a toll on their health and their financial stability. I'm worried that he's going to become my responsibility if something happens to them. How can I address this now?
Wow, that actually happened to me.
This happened to you?
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about, D? What happened?
I mean, my mother has one brother. And it was like 10 years between them.
You didn't end up stuck taking care of him, did you?
Hell no.
Oh, okay. Who ended up inheriting him?
He inherited himself.
What happened? What happened?
I mean, like I said, it was 10 years between them. It was only two of them. So,
Right.
you know, my bituta. That's exactly how he said, my bituta. And he was he was an addict. But my mother took care of, she was the best big sister.
Mm.
I mean, he go to jail. She's sending money. She's going to see him. She's going to take care of her brother.
She was a good sister.
She was a very good sister, like your sister.
True.
Yeah, I mean, very good sister. She only had one child. She would do presents and send it to California and said it was from him.
Really?
Oh, yeah, birthday cards, put some money in it. She was an ideal sister. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And when she was sick, he and I would pay him to go sit up there with my mother because, a nurse is the worst patient. And my mom was a DON, so she was the worst patient.
Okay.
So I would pay him to go sit up with his sister. And I used to tell him, I'm like, when her head go cold, I'm your niece. I'm not going to be your mom. I'm not going to be your sister. You're going to be on your own.
I'm not inheriting
Period.
You.
I
Right.
have 4 children. Period.
You ain't raising some grown, you
Period.
know what man.
And right now, I do pay for his health, his life insurance.
Wait, hold it, D. Right after saying, I ain't take care of you, period. Now, I do pay for his. D, you taking care of him.
No, because that burden would be on me. I mean, I wouldn't want him my mother would probably come down and hurt me if I let him just stay at the morgue and be like, I ain't doing that. So, no, I continue paying his life insurance policy.
Life insurance, not his health insurance.
No, he's 65. But I did let him know that when you can't take it, he is a member of Aspire Home Healthcare. But I did tell him, when you get to the point.
He's one of your clients.
He's one of my clients, most definitely.
Are you able to bill for him?
Hell yeah.
Don't be having him up in there getting free service.
Hell no.
All right.
No. and I, like I said, I do pay for his life insurance policy. And I did let him know that when you get to the point that you can't take care of yourself, I will be putting you in a nursing home. I will come and visit you at least once every other week. And that's all I can do for you. Because he's not a good uncle. But, okay, I'm sorry. Because he does tune in from time to time.
Oh, Lord.
Uncle, I do want to say this. If I call him, he's Johnny on the spot. Okay? And
He's listening to this.
he might. Every now and then he do tune in.
He needs to not be listening to this show. He never know when he's going to be getting talked about.
And I have never talked about him before until this situation.
He better not be listening.
But if I call him and be like, Uncle, I need your help, or some of my children called him, he's Johnny on the spot. But can your uncle get a couple of dollars?
Can your uncle get a couple of dollars?
So it just messes up the whole taste in your mouth. Yeah, you're here helping, but you want to get paid, and you better watch out, because if it's something he won't, he might even steal it.
Because you had to pay him to sit with his
Did you catch
sister
that?
who had been taking care of
Exactly.
him
Did you catch
all
that?
his life. I
Did you
caught
catch
that,
that?
and that was foul.
That was
That you
foul.
had to pay him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of us got an uncle, because I got an uncle who been trying to get me to go into business with him.
To do what?
Selling, you know how the restaurants, when they get through with their French fry oil, this fool, he on crack too, hell. He high. Everybody got
My
that
uncle
high
too.
uncle. Right.
Gotta have one. He's in every family, man.
This is an uncle who I've never known him
worked.
to hold a job.
Never.
And he wants to sell. He wants to go into business
And sell the
and
used
sell the
oil.
used oil. The reason why they don't use that oil in cars is because they can't get rid of the smell of French fries. Nobody wants to drive down the street smelling like French fries.
So he think that it's going to be a big thing that they are going to use it for
he
cars.
think it's going to be big. All the cars are going to be smelling like fries. All the cars are going to be smelling like fries. I ain't talking
And
about
chicken.
any fries. I'm talking about McDonald's and Burger King. I'm not going to business with this fool. He steals because he's an addict. He steals. See, I can talk about family members because my family members will not watch all these episodes until I'm dead and gone.
Oh, really? No. My uncle, he's very supportive. He loves his niece. Like, he will sell my number. He have sold my number to men.
What? These uncles are crazy.
Yeah. Oh, Stacy here. Oh, man. Yeah, you can get a number if you give me $50. That's my niece. That's my number one niece. That's my sister's daughter.
Oh, my
And the dude
Lord.
be like, for real? That real? You know, they be like, that really is your niece? Yeah, that's my sister's daughter.
Because he's so low functioning.
Exactly. But back in the day, he used to be the stuff. They used to call him Hollywood because he was one of the dressingest people on the Northeast end.
He doesn't feel far from Hollywood, though.
Looked just like Eddie Murphy.
Really? His Hollywood days sound like they are long over.
No, they still call him Hollywood in the streets. And he still think he's a he's a ladies' man.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, so the D, you have this uncle. I wasn't even thinking about uncles
It's the same difference.
in preparing my notes for this. I'm talking about those siblings.
It's the same thing because that was like her child,
Yeah.
her oldest child.
Yes. And she inherited him from their parents, though. And so this question comes up
Yes,
in
she did.
therapy a lot.
A lot.
And so we're going to have to take a look at this.
Actually, if any of my children are listening, call in because y'all want to talk about your baby sister.
She doesn't count.
How come she don't?
I'm going to explain when we get to it.
Okay,
Your
come on
baby
then.
who's living with you now, I hope she's listening. I'm always defending her. Tell her she needs to start sending me some damn sweets. Bake something, some cookies. You should be showing up here with some cookies because I always got her back. She doesn't count. I'm going to explain why. She doesn't count. Well, she might. I'm going to go down the criteria.
She's going to count.
I sincerely
She's
doubt
going to
it.
count. That's going to be our test dummy.
I knew.
That's
Listen.
going to be our test dummy.
Right. When I go down the criteria, because I knew you was going to say, my daughter's at home now. And I was prepared to say.
Well, wait a minute, everybody. Guess what? I actually have 2 daughters at home right now, and it is hell.
Wait, you got 2 at home now?
Yes.
And a grandbaby.
And a granddaughter.
But
And
y'all
it's
having so
hell.
much fun.
No,
that
we're not.
sounds like a good time to
No,
me.
the daughters, they don't went back to 13 and 14 because
They've regressed.
They have regressed back, and they're just. Because
Really?
the baby girl is mad because she's there. The other daughter's there.
Right.
Now, how you gonna be mad? You still
Was
at
she
home, too.
infringing on her space, though?
That's exactly
This was
what's
her
going on.
time to have her mama to herself.
Let the kids say she always have.
And now, once again, she's having to share her mama. She's like, what is it going to take to get you people to go away so that I can have my mama to myself for once?
But like I'm trying to explain to her, like my oldest daughter, Danny, she used to work for the Metro. She got tired of the homeless people.
Okay, this is the one that used to have Rex, but then she became a bus driver.
Now she's a bus driver.
Right.
She got tired of the homeless people. Very scary. So she done went and got her CDL, and she does team driving.
What? What is that?
Team driving is when the truck don't never stop. It's her and another person. So the truck don't never. It's making
Oh,
money
they don't stop to
24/7.
sleep.
Exactly.
Oh,
The other one will jump in, and the other one jump in. So that truck is never stopping. So she's off for like another week, I think.
okay.
Couple of days. And my daughter is like, there's no reason for me to have an apartment when I could just give my mama some money. You don't give mama no money. So why you tripping on me giving my mama some money?
That does make sense though, because people who are flight attendants, that's what they do. They're like, why am I going to pay rent for an apartment? I'm a flight attendant. I just need to have a family member with a spare room, kick them down a couple of dollars here and there, and then I'm good to go.
Got her stuff in storage. Exactly.
That makes sense.
It does.
But
Because we about to buy us another 18-wheeler.
But the other daughter, she doesn't feel like she should have to share, but she's not sharing much because she's gone most of the time. Okay, so we're gonna go through. I know that daughter doesn't meet the criteria because she got a job.
She's very self-sufficient. She's it was so funny. We just get off the subject so bad. But everyone was over there for Christmas, right? And everyone know I have 4 children, 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
And they were talking about, Mama, I always thought this one. No, they always fight about who's my favorite.
Of course.
And then Danny was like, well, y'all never say I'm the favorite. Because she really feels though that she was the
Stepchild.
But
her
she needed a different type of love. And that's the reason why she's where she is now. Is the type of love that I gave her. Love you all equally, just different type of ways.
But she must have wanted something different, D. She wanted. You gave her a different type of love, but if she feels like
She wanted
if
something
all
different.
the others felt like they were the favorite, which is good, because all your kids should feel like they the favorite. I say this, although as I think about my kids, I did not accomplish that. All of them feeling that way.
Well, I only had one. 3 quarters.
But like, she obviously did not get that feeling that she was the favorite. And so, D, you got time to fix that. You got time to fix it. You still young enough.
I know, I do. And like I tell her, your mama going to help you get your own 18-wheeler. So I just seen it in her that she was most definitely a chief and not an Indian. And I just wanted to push her. And we as mothers, and we have talked about this, we love our sons and raise our daughters. That's what mothers do. But that baby, that was my baby.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, she doesn't meet the criteria.
No.
Okay.
Danny does not meet the criteria.
We're going to use your other daughter through this little checklist that I came up with.
Danielle's watching.
It's the shiftlessness.
Danny's
It's
watching.
the shiftless checklist.
The shiftless. Say it again now.
The shiftless checklist. I just named it that. But which one of them is watching? The
Danielle.
one who we know is not meeting the criteria? Okay. The other one, is she watching the show right now?
Probably not. She'll probably watch it tonight.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's get to our check-in. My check-in is gonna be real brief because we just spent a lot of time. Because the D can't never wait till we get to it. She can't never wait till we get to the
that's
segment.
my ADHD, and I took my medicine today because I had to be in 2 very important meetings. So maybe it's done wore
Your
off.
man's ain't working.
It done wore off.
Are they extended release?
No, that costs more money.
No, it it probably does. D, your that means you got some little 4-hour ADHD beds and they're not working because
Well,
as soon
I'm supposed to take it 2 times a day.
Okay, those are 4-hour meds. As soon
Well,
as
it did what it was supposed to been doing.
As soon as I say the question of the day, you launch into it like we are at the segment. We ain't at that segment, D.
Well, maybe you need to stop talking about what the question of the day is in the beginning. You know how my mind works.
I'm just giving the title so that our listeners know. Stay tuned. We're going to get to this, but the D going to get to it right now. Okay, let's do our check-in, D. What's your check-in?
Okay, I ran out of gas.
What? That's not good with modern cars. That's not good for
I have
the engine to
I have
run all
never
the way
ever
out.
ran out of gas before
In your whole life.
in my whole life.
I used to run out of gas all
At
the time.
54 years old.
Shh. My car was so out of gas at Washington High School. I barely made it there.
It was really, really bad because, okay, so this is it. So I got up in the morning. I was so tired because I went out to eat Sunday and I had a salad, but I think they put some drugs in my salad.
Really, D?
Yeah, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a salad. I came home and went straight. I flatlined. I got home after church. It was like 5 o'clock. I didn't wake up to 1:30 a.m.
You were probably really tired. There ain't nobody drugging salads. One is now soup,
Because
maybe.
it was good, too. It was in the dressing.
The dressing.
Honey mustard vinaigrette. Where they get that from? They don't even go together. Honey
that
mustard
sounds nasty.
vinaigrette.
That sounds nasty.
It was really good.
Was it possible that there was alcohol in the dressing? Because you seem to believe that if you have even the slightest amount of alcohol in some food, all of a sudden you
It knocks
sleep.
me out.
Right.
So then I woke up at 1:30. Then I didn't go back to sleep until 6. And then I have to get up at 7:30. So I was really, really tired. So I had to go up because I had to get up Monday morning. I had to be in Gardner. From my house to Gardner.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I got to get gas.
That's far.
Yeah. But I was on the phone with one of my members, and I looked up. I was just in Gardner. So I didn't get any gas. And I do not like getting gas in Kansas. And then
It's higher.
Yes, it's higher. And then I only like getting gas from Sam's Club and Quick Trip.
Quick Trip or Sam's Club. You're right.
Exactly.
That's where I get mine.
So I was on my way to my office, which is in downtown KCK. And I was going to stop, and I called them people, too. I called them on Tuesday. So I was going to stop at the gas station right there on 5th
It's
and
right up the street.
N.
There's a gas station right up the street, but I think it's BP. And
I was only going to get $3.
You better only get $3.
But when I pulled up to get it, the homeless people went, whoosh.
Oh, yes, of course.
And I was like, I was only going to put $3, but y'all was going to try to beg me out of 15.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm not feeling this. So I'm going to go to the office. Then and my car said I had
Was the light
13
on?
miles. Said I had 13 miles. My light
Okay.
don't come on. It tell me I had 13 miles.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, cool. I can make it to Sam's Club. I get off of work, leave my office. It's even dark because it's like 7 o'clock. Sam's Club don't close to 9. Sam's Club gas station don't close to 9.
At the Legends.
No, I'm
Oh,
not.
okay.
I'm on my way home.
Okay.
So I'm on the highway, and I'm just going. Because I'm going to Sam's Club. I done passed my exit. I'm going. Then my car just stops.
Before the 13 miles?
It still said I had 9 miles. I actually called Barron BMW, and I'm bringing my car in next week because that's not right. That's false advertisement, isn't it?
You've had it too long to say false advertisement. You have had the car a while. What you gonna do? Return it because Dang,
Something's
what
not
you gonna
right.
do? I'm taking it back. That's false advertising.
False
It is. I
advertisement.
didn't get my last 13 miles.
Exactly.
What? D.
And then
It was probably going crazy, lights flashing,
No.
doing everything to let you know.
No, it didn't. It said 11 miles. 11 miles. Oh, I'm cool because once you get off the exit, Quick Trip, Sam's Club is only two blocks down on North Oak.
Wow.
Oh, I had a hell day. Then I called the BP and went off on them too.
Why
The next
BP?
morning. Yeah, because if I could have put my $3 in there, I would have been okay.
Oh, you went
But
off on them
because
for
of the
not
situation
controlling.
with all the homeless people,
They don't try to control the homeless. The homeless controls them.
sure do. But they're going to need to do something because I was very upset. And I told them I'm going to write them a letter to their corporate office.
This is BP who had an oil spill. Remember, they had the oil spill that they took forever to clean up.
I remember.
What do you think BP cares?
I don't care, but I'm going to let them know.
BP don't give a sugar honey iced tea. Look, they
They need to do something
call
about
them if
the
you want
homeless.
to. It's gonna be more. They'll
Guess
bus
what?
homeless people to that station just
Gerald,
for you.
JP, We need to find how to get some money off
hate
these
BP.
homeless people.
What?
It has to be
We're not
some
going
money
down
on the
this.
homeless people.
I need you to take another one of them pills because your pill wore off in 4 hours, and you about to
It
take
gotta be
us
some
into a
money
whole
on-
segment
it gotta
that
be
is
some
not on
money
the
about
list.
the homeless.
Ain't no money in homelessness.
It has to be some. It's something somewhere.
The majority of the people who are homeless actually have somewhere to stay.
And they want to be
The
homeless.
majority of them are struggling with either addiction
Mental
or
health.
mental illness. And the ones who have psychotic diagnoses, what happens is people with schizophrenia, schizoaffective, they will take their medication for a while, but then once they feel better, they think they don't need the medication,
And
so
they're
they go
done.
off of it and they leave
And
their
there it goes
supported
again.
living programs and their independent living programs. All these housing programs require them to be sober and medicated. Well, two things they ain't putting up with is sobriety and medication. And so that's how
Okay, you
don't
don't crush my dream about the homeless people. Okay.
You ain't making no money off of them. No.
I really think it's something.
All right. Here's my. Oh, we got. Okay. Real quick. I got a list of check-ins. I'm trying to find which one is the shortest. I'm going to go with this. First, before I get to it, I found a wonderful website. And I posted it on our Facebook page. You saw that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't monitor that page. How'd you see that? Because you do not monitor that page. Okay. It is a link it's called 101 African American First. This is what I like about it. This is for Black History Month. You click on it and it has, in addition to having 101 first things that Black folks have done.
Wow.
It's broken into categories. So if you're sitting with your kids and you're educating them on Black folks, you can click under medicine, politics, like it has, in fact, here's the categories. Okay. Business and labor, civics, education, medicine and health, religion, sports, the arts, media, the military, the sciences, and then there's other to cover other African American first that doesn't fall up under those categories. This is wonderful for parents, for you parents out there who are, sitting down to dinner with your kids and you're talking about the accomplishments, the contributions of African Americans to American society. You can break it down into these categories. So if you have a kid who's interested in education, becoming an educator, a teacher, you're able to click on it and they can learn a little bit of history on that. So I think that's wonderful. So I wanted to cover that.
I really like that.
So
JP.
that's my Black History resource. Now, here's my quick check-in. Unsolicited advice. I don't know if I've talked about this before.
You do it all the time.
No, I don't. People pay me for anything I have to say.
Not all the time.
No, I'm billing their insurance, so I'm billing them. I don't give unsolicited advice. If my family members are struggling with something, I don't bother them. I don't call them. I don't deal with. Now, if they ask me, I'll say, "Are you sure you want to hear my opinion on this?" Because I like to give people a warning.
Because he goes hard.
I don't go.
He kicks down the front door.
I don't go. Okay, and so I will give them a warning. Are you sure you want to know?
Because I'm kicking down the front door.
But if they don't ask, I don't offer it. Over the past week, I got so much unsolicited advice, and here's the problem with unsolicited advice.
In regards to what?
It was in regards to things that the person giving me the advice, they are not an expert in that area. They're not higher functioning than me in that area, and they're low functioning. So I was getting advice on everything from parenting tips to getting those little sly comments about how I was managing my time on vacation. Yes, because I'm getting dressed. Here's one of the comments that I got. Sashi, say to your daddy, "Ooh, he really accomplished something today. He managed to get dressed by 2:00." I said, my baby don't need to say that because her daddy's on vacation from working 6.5 days a week. So I'm doing good to come out of my pajamas at all today.
Must have been from the in-laws.
I was like, her daddy finished writing a book before I got dressed this morning. A whole
All right, go ahead
book.
on.
Well, I've been working on my 2 books, but I'm like, so when a person who does not work, I've never known this person to have a job ever in the 20 years that I've been knowing my wife. When they are giving
Told you was an in-law.
When they are giving you, I'm not saying who it is. I'm just saying, I ain't gonna say no names. I'm just saying,
Just in-law.
when a person who sleeps in their clothes is commenting because I iron, I got to do everything. Okay, I got to do.
We discussed the iron when you burnt it up.
So over the past week, really couple of weeks, I have been getting a lot of unsolicited advice. This is I wish we could, Mr. Walker. Can you put that back up, Mr. Walker, please? Pass him your ADHD meds. Because I need for Mr. Walker to stay focused. I need him to stay focused. Okay. They
only work 4 hours.
He need him to work for the next 30 minutes. Okay. So to those of you out there who like to give unsolicited advice, here's the problem. Do not give advice in areas that you are not an expert in, or at least higher functioning in that area than the person that you were giving the advice to. Okay? It's annoying.
Case in point, excuse me, JP. Do not tell JP nothing about what he's doing with Sashi Poo, or you might get slapped and spit on, okay?
That will get you slapped, okay? Don't do that. But even, people giving me advice on business and money, and I'm just like, you don't even have a business. Or giving me advice on money management, but like you're broke. That's the problem, is giving advice to people in areas where they are higher functioning than you. That is insulting and it's annoying. It'd be like somebody deciding to tell Stacy D how to run a home health care agency and they work for you.
They do it all the time.
That's not annoying. That annoys me.
I just ignore them.
That annoys me.
I can ignore people so good. Oh, and we need to talk about the taxes. So remember we was talking about the services that we lose.
I don't want you to get in no IRS trouble right now. Mm-hmm. So what you about to say? Please.
Nothing. We'll talk about it later on.
Please.
But I was right.
Speak carefully.
No, I was right.
Oh, if you were right, go ahead and say it.
No.
Wait a minute, D. If you're sure you're right.
I tell you.
This is about tax write-offs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's it. Mental health and illness in the news. D, do you have anything for mental health and illness in the news?
You know I don't never do.
I know, but yeah, I figured I'd ask anyway. Okay, I actually did not prepare for mental health and illness in the news.
Well, we run out of time. We about need to go on and go to our stuff. You know what? I know it's when I take that medicine,
Lord,
and when it come down, I'm really just everywhere.
Yes, D, because it's ADHD meds. It zooms in. It improves your focus, your concentration.
That's why I don't take it all the time.
Well, what do you mean? You just said that when you don't take it.
No, when I'm coming down off of it, it just has me really like I'm everywhere. Really everywhere. Yeah. Like on steroids, like everywhere.
If you would have got the extended release capsule.
It costs more.
They would last 8 hours. You'd be done working. Okay.
I'm never done working.
Okay, last week we canceled the show. I can't even remember why we canceled. Was it sleep? Was it ice?
Ice.
Okay.
Was it really icy though, y'all? Because y'all want to talk about I'm a little punkish about it.
I think I was out in the streets. I don't think it was that bad, but we didn't get to have our post Super Bowl show because we needed to show up with our Chiefs gear on, and so we missed that. But and this is a little bit, I guess, a little bit of mental health illness in the news. But here's what I was thinking about. Do you know who one of my favorite Chiefs players is?
No, because we ain't never talked about it. So how would I know?
Harrison Butker. Now here's why.
Is he the kicker?
He's the fact that you had to ask who the hell he was. This is the point that I'm about to make.
I
and
asked,
Mr.
was
Walker,
he the kicker, but I did know
y'all
who
let me
he
know
was.
what y'all think.
But I did know who he was.
You barely knew because you was like, who is that? The
Yeah,
kicker?
because we be cussing him out all the time.
Why are people cussing this man out?
Because he be missing what we be needing.
What? No, he's not. Let me tell you.
Bring up the stats.
I got the stats right here. His field goal percentage during the regular season is 75%, and in postseason it's 85.7%.
Listen, he don't have to practice. He gets great money.
You know
it needs to be 99.99%.
That's not even possible. Here is my thoughts on Butker.
Especially if he's in the 40 line. He needs to make all those.
He is one of the most...
Stop. Mr. Walker want to say something.
Hold on. Let me say this first, Mr. Walker. Let me say this. He is, to me, one of the most underrated players on the team. This man, okay, granted, he doesn't spend much time on the field. Listen, I'll admit
he don't practice.
I'll admit it. Why are you saying the man don't practice, D? He practices.
No, I seen a whole thing about kickers.
Okay, he's
they
in
don't
the 88th
practice.
percentile, so he don't need to practice because he's in the 88th percentile.
Okay, then you sure right.
But here's my thought. He is so underrated. This man spends very little time on the field, but the amount of time he does spend on there is very important. He's on there during very vital moments, okay?
He's either make it or break it.
He's kicking game-winning field goals
or game
in
losing
both the Super
or
Bowl
missing game losing
and the AFC. When has that happened?
Bring it up, Mr. Walker. Bring it up.
Mr. Walker. This man, here's my thoughts. After this, he kicks a game-winning field goal for the Super Bowl and for the AFC. In all the post-game interviews and everything, he's nowhere to be found. Nobody's mentioning his name.
He's an introvert.
Nobody is even acknowledging.
No, yes they do. Yes they did.
When did they acknowledge him?
That it was all about him because you was hooping and hollering and jumping up and down. You didn't hear it.
Oh, you mean right after the game? Mm-hmm. What about in all the dozens of interviews?
He makes a lot of money though.
The game.
Kickers make a lot of money.
Okay,
don't they, Mr. Walker?
But he still, I don't think he gets the props that he deserves. He is like an unsung hero, and I'm wondering, because I'm on the provider panel for the Chiefs, right? If I was to see one of them in therapy, he's the one I would want to see so I could see how he handles that.
Well, I think we need to call him. Buckner, you listening to Speaking the Unspeakable with JP and Stacy D. We need you to call in.
Mr. Walker, what are your thoughts, Mr. Walker?
I think Buckner did a good job. He missed a couple in regular season that cost us a game.
Mm-hmm.
But in the postseason, he was the winning points.
Yes.
Yeah, he was the winning points that brought us through under pressure. And I had to give him credit. He got hurt.
He was
he was gone for a while, yeah.
And he came back and he wasn't on point as much. And I think his ankle injury, because that other kicker, he got hurt in the same field that the Super Bowl was on.
Oh, wow.
That's when he got hurt, was when we played Arizona.
Okay.
On that field. And if y'all saw the way they were slipping and sliding out there.
Yes, the field was a problem.
And their kicker kind of twisted. He didn't hurt it, but they showed a clip on it. His foot twisted. But anyway, I think after that injury, it was taking him a while to get back in stride.
Because he used to be the number one kicker in the league.
But this year he had an industry.
His percentage was
he should
higher.
Be back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
he was a number one kicker.
He deserves his
And he's sort of old, too.
And this is what – no, he's in his 20s. This is
Is
what I
he?
was thinking about. Yeah, he just looks old, the beard.
Oh.
This is what I was thinking.
What?
In mental health, he is the equivalent of the psychiatrist. Let me explain why. On multidisciplinary teams, you have your psychiatrist, you have your therapist, then you have your case manager, then you have your, what are those, parent aides, youth support specialists. You got all those people, right? Okay, so the therapist is kind of the equivalent of the quarterback, right?
Okay.
Butker
What's Kelsey?
is kind of... Kelsey would be the equivalent of the case managers
Okay.
because they are an
okay.
extension of the therapy.
Okay.
And everything that's going on with a client is really about the therapist and the case manager.
It really is.
The youth support specialists, the parent support people, those are kind of like your defensive line. Okay.
Okay, go
The
ahead on.
psychiatrist is the person who only sees the client once every 2 or 3 months, kind of like Butker.
And keep
The
it all
psychiatrist,
together.
the psychiatrist
Oh,
does
now.
not spend much time on the field.
Not out.
But if you are treating
20
a
minutes.
client with bipolar disorder or any of the psychotic diagnoses, if it were not for that psychiatrist, yeah, the therapist and the case manager doing all the work, okay? And the case manager's doing even more time
more
with the
work,
client
most
than the
definitely.
therapist, right? But the therapist is like the quarterback saying, listen, this is what we need to do. This is the diagnosis. This is the treatment plan. This is what has to happen. The psychiatrist is behind the scenes, and I always praised our psychiatrist because Dr. Rosso was like my
He was
favorite
good.
psychiatrist
He
at the
was
mental health
good.
center. And I always gave this man his props. I didn't treat him like
Like you
Butker
did.
gets treated. Okay?
Okay.
I gave this man his props. But I was thinking about it. In general, psychiatrists don't really get their props because they only see the client once every 2 or 3 months, but they play a very vital role.
Look at JP that made all this come together. Go ahead on.
I done made it all come together.
Oh, come together.
My
We done
book-
did the Chiefs in the Community Mental Health Center.
Let me say, and how I drew that link. Let me tell you. This
Only JP's world.
my whole book, the one that I finished while on vacation, is about analogies. And this ain't even making it into the book because I got to cut 4,000 words from the book because it's too long.
Well, you need to cut some down and put this in.
Well, this is
Especially
a good
because
little analogy.
especially because the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and this your home team. So you
We
got
need
cut.
to talk to Butker.
You got to call. You got to take 8,000.
Mr. Walker, do you have his phone number?
He's about to call in. He's about to call in. What are y'all talking about?
Because that's my boy. I want to
He's about
talk
to call
to him.
in.
Mr. Walker gave us some good information. He kind of supports my position. This is a valuable player. He does not get his props, though. At the parade and the after, I'm calling it an after party, but it was, what was that? The rally.
Mm-hmm.
Where was he? I'm like, where's my boy? Where's my boy?
I wonder is he an introvert? Because he don't do very much celebrating on the thing. He do his little he gone.
It's either his choice because he's introverted, or it's the public's choice because they're like, oh, forget about him. So he's like, okay, nobody wants to hear from me. All I did was kick a game-winning field goal. Now,
and made us win
right, but nobody wants to hear from me. Even
at the end.
when the players get up to the microphone and they're all excited and they're calling out names of other players.
He's calling in. Oh.
Yeah, that's Butker.
That's Butker.
See, he's young. He's not old. He's
He
not old.
really looked old with all that stuff on him. Okay.
The beards are the
It's
end
the
thing
beard.
now.
Yeah,
I was
it
in the
is.
gym. I know I'm getting on a tangent. I'm
Here,
being
want some
tangential
medicine?
right now. Please pass your pills. Everybody in the gym has a beard. Have you noticed?
I know.
Everybody got a beard.
The
up in
3 B's. The 3 B's.
3 B's. What's the 3 B's, D?
Brown, bearded, and bald. Ooh.
I was thinking it was all of the Caucasian people in the gym with the beards. But in your gym, it's all the black folks.
It's
Okay.
quite a bit. And I live up north, yeah.
Everybody got a beard. I don't
Everyone
know how
has
they
a beard.
Ooh, the beard. I can't.
My son has one. And my other son
It
wants
don't itch
one.
all the time.
He said it don't. But now they have so much of stuff to put on. It's
His
they
beard
have
be
the
it be
balms.
sparkling, don't it? Because I done
Yes.
seen some sparkly beards. I thought that
And
was
they
pearl
don't look
activator.
nappy. I mean, they have like it's a whole line of beard products now.
And part of it is activator and moisturizer.
You think so?
Because it be sparkling
Wait
like
a
a
minute, some
Jerry
people
curl from
even
back in the day.
but some people even straighten their beards with a straightening comb.
What? I can't. It's time to move on. I ain't gonna be able to do it. That's
The
so
beard
crazy.
thing is big. I mean, they have a whole Facebook club.
What?
They hot too. I just want to let you know. And it's all colors in it. It's all colors. It's all colors.
This is so. I
It's-
can't wait for beards
they're
to go
hot.
back out of style.
They're
because
hot.
It makes people look old.
It do sort of make them look older.
It makes
though.
people look old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get to the question of the day. We're going to see if your daughter meets this criteria.
Okay,
Once
let's go.
again, the question, my sibling has been living off of my parents his entire life. Now that they're elderly, it's beginning to take a toll on their health and their financial stability. I'm worried that he's going to become my responsibility if something happens to them. How can I address this now? Now, there are stages of development, okay? You have childhood, you have adolescence, you have young adulthood, you have middle age, and then you have old age,
Senior
senior
citizens.
citizen, right? This is about those people who have never made the transition basically from adolescence to young adulthood and transitioning out of the home, launching. That's who this is about, okay? D, this is not about those young people who are temporarily coming home to hit a reset button.
How long is temporary?
You determined that your daughter, because this rules her out.
No, because I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm
'Cause
gonna
she's
tell you
home
something else.
temporarily.
No, we had a family meeting one time, right? Probably
Yes.
about 6 years ago. We had a family meeting, and I was letting the children know how my money is done and how everything is gonna be done.
Okay.
And I literally told my other 3 children
Uh-huh.
and my oldest son's fiance
Uh-huh.
that if y'all don't take care of my baby, I'm gonna come back and kill y'all.
But she's still only home temporarily.
What the heck is temporary,
Well,
JP?
I don't really know. I didn't think about it that far, D.
Mr. Walker, what is temporary?
What? I think
Not for an extended time.
right.
So
I'm
what would
thinking
extended time be? No longer than 6 months?
no longer than maybe it could be as long as a year.
Okay, well, she's been there longer than a year.
She has.
Hell yeah.
But is her goal for it to still be temporary, or
No.
is she permanently at home?
I think she's permanently at home, and I try not to make it like that because she doesn't have a bed to sleep in.
But she has lived on her own before. True.
Yes.
So I'm not sure she meets the criteria. If we could talk to her right now, she would say,
What she's
"Mom,
gonna do
I'm
to
not
keep
gonna
face?
live at home forever."
That's what she'll say.
And the phone line is open, 816-599-6893.
Go ahead on the call, Buckner.
we need your baby to call. Mr. Walker, get that number again, because
Okay, the call-in number is 816-599-6893. You can call in live.
I think that this excludes her, because I was thinking, because I
No.
knew you was gonna throw her out, and I
No.
was ready to defend her.
You gotta defend
Okay.
her. You just do that because you love my granddaughter.
We talking about
Men
'cause she's-
love girls.
'cause she's precious. We talking about the fools who are home permanently. Okay, so first, let's look at the causes of this. First thing we need to rule out is laziness, and here's the reason
Hell
why.
yeah, she's lazy.
But this is not people who are just lazy. These are people, because this is, if you are lazy to the point that you fail to launch from your parents' home, that is a clinical level of decreased motivation and decreased energy, which technically is diagnosable. That's not just regular laziness.
Well, now she's lazy because she doesn't want to relaunch from my home. The first launch was she wanted to be out here just getting buck wild, and you couldn't do that in my domains.
Right. But she's
So-
lived on her own before.
Yeah. But she came back because my oldest son got tired of helping her pay her rent. So he said, when your lease is up, you're going back home to mama.
Oh, so she wasn't successful.
She's the baby. She doesn't want to be
taking care of
successful.
herself.
She knows she can do what she wants to do with her money, and her siblings and her mom and her dad is going to come in and rescue her.
Okay. She might meet the criteria.
Exactly.
Okay, might. But here's my thoughts. When a person is lazy to the point of it being on a clinical level and meeting the criteria for decreased motivation, a symptom of depression.
That's definitely some depression.
Decreased energy, a symptom of depression. They are meeting the criteria for the diagnosis of phase of life issues, okay? Because they're not transitioning into the next phase of life, getting out there in the world and supporting themselves, okay? And so let's rule out just regular laziness, okay? I'm talking about on a clinical level. Now, we're going to rule out
regular laziness.
Well, you said that there might be a little bit of depression.
Oh, it's most definitely some depression.
Okay, and I'm gonna get to that. I'm also, this is not the person who gave this question and all the clients that I see for this, because this is really pretty common. And we got some people in my family who I know they meet the criteria. We're also not talking about people who have either a cognitive diagnosis, which is intellectual development disorder.
IDD.
Yes. And back in the day, what was
MRDD.
called MR. Yes, mental retardation. We're not talking about them, okay? Because they have a reason why they're still in home, okay? And we're also not talking about people with a physical health diagnosis.
Most definitely.
Physically disabled, okay? So who's left? This is who we are talking about, okay? We are talking about fools who shouldn't be still at home with their mammy and their pappy, okay? Now, two main causes. One, substance addiction, substance abuse, and an addiction, okay? And so the person that I'm thinking about, a couple of people in my own family, these fools are high, okay? I'm talking about a couple of crackheads. Here's the other cause, is poorly managed mental health diagnosis, like depression. Because some of these folks, if they would manage their depression better, the symptoms of decreased motivation and decreased energy and all of that keeps them under their parents' roof permanently, if they would just get the proper treatment. And so let's think about the proper treatment. There's the community mental health center where they can get the psychiatry, they can get case management. There are supported living programs like what our good friend Terry Mason has. I think her clients are SPMI, severely and persistently mentally ill.
And IDD.
Yeah. But there are interventions for managing mental health well enough for these people to transition out of the home. And so your daughter, here's why I didn't think she met the criteria of being just a never going to leave the home person. Is one, why I was thinking, well, she's lived on her own before, but you're pointing out that it didn't really go that well. But they have to have a mentality. Here's the main criteria. They have to have a mentality that it's okay that they're at home.
She do feel like it's okay at home because she takes care of me.
You don't need taken care of.
But in her mind, she's taking care of her mama.
Oh, my Lord. Really? You are a fully functioning adult.
Yes.
What is she doing to take care of you?
She's there watching over me because I am getting over. I'm getting older, and
that's sweet.
Yeah, and she don't want me to have no man. So it's with all the children.
That's kind of sweet.
Yeah, my oldest son. That's why he wanted her there.
She don't trust your choice in men.
She doesn't want me with no man.
But is it because she does not trust your choices?
No, she is selfish with my love. No, she's just selfish with my love. She wants it all.
Okay, so mentally she's okay with being home because that's a predominant criteria with this population. They don't think nothing about them being at home.
She don't.
They're not embarrassed.
No.
All they friends that got their own cribs, they like, and
that's what she says.
these are people who will never leave home.
Exactly. I mean, literally, her and her friend just had a conversation because she thought, she think I can't hear. Was like, girl, my mama would never. Girl, no. See, me and my mama's relationship here at this house ain't like that.
Oh, that's so sweet. You gotta admit, it's really sweet. She is not one of the people, because what I'm about to get into is kicking these people out of the house. Okay,
let's kick her out the house.
This excludes your baby.
No, she told me I have to give her an eviction notice.
Technically, she's right. Okay.
I know she is.
Okay, so here's what you do for those of you who have a sibling that is at home living with your parents, and your parents are getting older, and you getting worried that you might inherit this person. Okay, this is my suggestion. One, and I tell clients this: address it now before the parents go to meet Jesus. You can't wait until after your parents pass away to show up at their house and say, okay, what we supposed to do with you? Because we selling this house and you in it. Like, because what they think is,
they gonna get the house.
I get the house because I've been living here. I took care of mama until she died. I get her house.
I'm going to a nursing facility. My three of my 4 grandchildren get the house. Well, they get all of my properties. Because my mind state was that I don't want no one that I love to mistreat me.
Right.
So that's the reason why I have nursing home insurance.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about the whole nursing home. A retirement village is what I'm thinking.
I mean, but
I don't trust
when you get to the other place, I'm going to senior housing anyway. I'm buying me in a senior community, but yeah, and my youngest daughter, her name will be on that house with my 3 grandchildren.
Okay,
so that is
she's
my
getting
plan.
the house.
Yeah,
that's why she ain't going nowhere.
It all depends on how the other 3 grandchildren feel about it. They might kick her out.
They can't kick their mama. Oh, you talking about all the other grandkids?
No, I have 4, but only 3 of them's name is on.
One is okay. She ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere.
Unless I sell
problem prevention for how this kid will live after the parents are gone. As the siblings need to say, listen, do you have a plan? Because, mom and daddy are not going to live forever, and I don't want to take care of you. This is what you need to do if you have one of those siblings, okay? The next thing, talk to your sibling about mental health supports and independent living programs if they are at home because of mismanaged mental health diagnosis. Okay, talk to them about, listen, we need to get you set up through the community mental health center. You can get some therapy, you can get some case management. Like, we can start the process of you being able to be independent after mom and dad are gone. Okay, all of this is problem prevention. Okay, so that you don't end up inheriting your sibling. Okay.
Well, you know what I have seen a lot?
This is all what your kids probably need to be doing.
Do you know what I see a lot of times of this situation that happens?
What?
Is that sibling stays in the family home.
Yeah.
Don't pay any bills pay the bills, don't pay any taxes, and do no unkeep. And the house just
goes to taxes.
Right.
But usually those other siblings will step in and pay it.
And then they'll put them out.
Sometimes.
I done seen that happen.
I done seen them end up
both ways.
Stuck taking care of that sibling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Discuss employment options and encourage them to get a job and start saving money now before mom and dad pass away.
Now she keeps a job.
Oh, so she makes money.
Great money.
She is actually home by choice. Wow.
I just told you that. She thinks there's nothing wrong with it. She's taking care of me. And she just started paying bills in January.
That's interesting. Because most of the people I'm seeing in therapy in this position, they have not worked. Like,
nah, she ain't gonna do that one now.
They have not worked.
She wasn't giving me any money, but
They
no,
are fully
I'm not
dependent
taking
on the
no,
parents.
Not doing that.
Okay, so this really
And I'm not getting a good feeling.
this really isn't about her. This she I don't think that she's one of these people. She's
I
not.
do.
She's not meeting the criteria.
Yes, she
for
did meet the criteria. It
shiftlessness.
was just one.
And here, last but not least, before we go, the last thing for the siblings to do is to get together and discuss, okay, who can we pawn this person off on? As a last resort,
I already told my kids, I better take care of them and come back and haunt you.
as a last resort, you might have to make a plan like, who can I pawn this fool off on after my parents are gone to meet Jesus? All right. That's our show for today.
That was good, JP.
Thank you all for joining. Let me tell you, I'm able to cover this because I know that my family members will not watch this show until I'm dead and gone. You know, after you die and then everybody, oh, we miss them. They go watch all your old shows and read your books and everything, and then they'll get mad.
Well, Danielle says that she's putting her out tomorrow.
She putting her out. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, I'm speaking about some people specifically. I'm not just talking about my clients who are in this position. So yeah, I'm talking about some people specifically, but they ain't gonna see the show. They ain't
Until
gonna
he
know.
dead and gone.
Until I'm dead and gone. That's our show for today. Thank you all for joining us, and remember, worry about nothing.
Put them out and then pray about it.
Thank you, and God bless.
Bye-bye now.